rock me, mama.
Hello, mamas.
Hey there. Here we are.
Hey there.
Hey there.
Welcome back.
How's everybody doing?
That's how Hart says my name, like Macy.
Macy.
Literally, he goes Macy, and it's the best thing. I know.
It's pretty adorable.
It's so good. I'm Macy.
So I told Farrah that I was coming here tonight because she wanted me to do bedtime, which is odd because she's actually been requesting Nick to do bedtime, which is wild and offensive.
Yeah.
Even though I love it because I put my headphones on and I clean and I'm just like, fuck yeah. But inside my heart cries.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, my baby wants
Isn't that
daddy.
funny though? We like need a break all the time, and the second
want
they
it
don't
so
want us,
bad.
we're like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm just like, wow, she like asked for him.
Yeah.
But because she saw me getting ready, she knew that she wanted me because I had something to do.
Right.
And I said, Mommy's going to do Rock Me Mama with Auntie Macy and Auntie Morg. And she go, oh, Rock Me Mama, Macy and Morgan. She knows all about it. She knows the song.
Yeah.
She knows all about it. Like she is very much aware of the podcast, which is crazy.
It's so sweet.
We like do YouTube a lot, obviously, and he'll like see it on like the recently watched.
It'll come
or whatever, up, and he'll be like, Amie, Macy.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it's really cute that they're becoming like humans that are aware of things.
Yeah, they really are.
Like she's like, okay, bye, Mommy, and gave me a kiss and a hug. I was like, okay.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's the hardest age ever, but it's also like the best. They say the cutest things.
They are tough, but they're so freaking cute.
They're so sweet.
They'll never be this cute again.
No.
They'll be cute in different ways, but this is the peak.
Oh man, it's pre-big teeth.
This is really...
Look,
it's pre-big teeth, yeah.
I'm so sorry, but I am one of those people. I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, me either.
I don't want to stare at my kids' big teeth.
Y'all,
yeah. I had big teeth.
I think we've talked about this before on the podcast, but I have like big teeth. Chase they're beautiful, but he has big teeth. I'm nervous for the boys.
It's just whenever it's that awkward phase when they come in after they lose
they're
them,
all teeth.
But their heads are still too small for them.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm not.
I have
dogging
friends that have kids with the big teeth right now.
Yeah, I'm not dogging anyone's big teeth. Like if you just have big teeth, but but like the 9 to like 13.
Yep, it's a little rough.
Well, they're just like rough. They're like not cute during that time.
No,
they're cute to a mother's eyes. You know, the mom thinks they're cute.
We'll see.
Yeah, but like
no, but I mean it is.
But you look and you're like, oh, you're going through your awkward.
No,
phase.
and I'm just like, quit talking. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
E and Wyatt are gonna have. I think there'll be a few years where it's a lot of teeth.
Yeah,
it's a lot of teeth.
Yeah.
But that's fine. They'll be the cutest can freaking be.
Yeah.
So this episode, we're going to answer your questions because this will be our last episode for a while.
This is the season 2
finale.
This is it.
Morgan's about to have her baby in like 7 days, and we need to take a break because we just need to regroup, and Morgan has to be a mommy.
Yeah. And Bill has to be a daddy. Can't do the show. I mean, we actually can't do it.
No, we literally can't do it without them.
But now Morg is such a part. We can't do episodes without her. So we're going to give them some time while Ames and I brainstorm new big things. Maybe finally work on merch.
Yeah.
And do a lot during
rebranding and just kind of assessing and finding new cool things to talk about. And
if there's anything y'all want to see or y'all want from
just talk to us. We'll be obviously we'll be active on
and we'll be doing lives.
Yeah, we'll be doing Instagram
releasing
lives. Some happy hours.
We'll be doing some happy hour lives. We'll probably try to do 2 to 3 a month.
Yeah.
And let y'all know ahead of time so that y'all can make sure
tune in and talk.
Yeah. Which actually I'm super excited about those.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
It'll be fun.
We're just gonna hide in your closet and drink.
No, literally.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
We just got some
that's the only place that we'll be able to do it.
We just got some new wine glasses for my father-in-law that feel fun. So
and we have all those makers cans that we need to use.
No,
obviously.
Yeah, I meant to bring those tonight. Well, those will be for our lives.
Yeah.
Literally hiding in the closet. So anyways, we thought it would be fun for our last episode for a while to include the listeners as much as possible.
And just answer your questions.
Yes. And so we put up a question box and we got a lot of good questions today. So that's what we're just going to let y'all kind of guide the episode.
Yeah.
And Morg,
take it away.
There's a ton of questions. So Morg will just pick her favorites.
You pick yours, the ones you want.
Basically, this whole episode is a
I love it.
What do you want to know?
I love it. How did you get on the same page for parenting with your partner? Did you read books before? Decide on the fly? Ooh. Go for it.
We don't read books in the Pruitt household, so we did not do that.
I think this is assuming that parents are ever on the same page with their parents.
Yeah. Man, I mean, I don't know. Am I naive to think that you marry somebody who are like you kind of have similar beliefs to, and that like
I think you're fortunate.
Yeah, and we all are into parenting.
Yeah.
I mean,
my parents didn't agree on things.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people marry someone and they really don't agree on a lot of things.
There are times where Chase and I have, like, we've been arguing so much specifically as we speak right now about whether we switch E's car seat to forward facing or reverse, because by all the rules and books and whatever, he is still too small, but Chase thinks he's right, so like that's a nitty gritty like specific thing, but like we just have had a discussion about it, and we have to meet each other in the middle, and eventually we agree on one thing. But I feel like outside of like little things like that, it's Chase and I have had pretty like similar beliefs. And a lot of things were actually discussed prior to even becoming parents. Like alcohol was a big discussion that we spoke about because Chase grew up in a very open drinking family. I did not at all, which like I feel like maybe backfired a little bit with Kyle and me. And then Chase and Lauren, like it's very like alcohol is just very normal to them. So like things like that that are like big topics, we actually had discussed prior to having kids, kind of like how we wanted to handle that.
How do you want to handle it?
Just be open about it.
Yeah.
Like not like my parents like hid it. It was everybody.
Oh, really?
If you drank, you were an alcoholic. Yeah.
Oh.
Both of my grandfathers were alcoholics.
Yeah.
So it's a touchy subject with my family. But like with my parents, but it was very much ashamed, and it could be partly a religious thing too. Like I don't,
like they didn't drink in front of you.
No, not at all. Yeah,
you said that.
I mean, they do now.
My parents weren't big drinkers when I was growing up, but my mom loves wine now, honey.
Yeah.
My mom had a pack of wine coolers at an Earth, Wind, and Fire concert at the fairgrounds in town. And that was also, or maybe it wasn't there, but that was the first place she smelled weed. So.
Oh, yeah.
And she was how old?
Underage.
Ooh,
she was
sassy.
Probably 16, 17.
Yeah. I mean,
she doesn't drink anymore. For anyone who just happens to hear this, and Mom, don't panic. She doesn't touch the stuff.
Doesn't touch it. Doesn't touch it. Well, yeah, but like things like that, we had kind of like, because I wanted to do it differently than my family did, and Chase like kind of wanted to do it a little bit differently than his family did, and that's really how all the big things have been for us.
Yeah.
Same with like communication and I don't know. So that's not even answering the question. I just feel like we've kind of the big things we had talked about before, which made me know I wanted to have kids with him,
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's kind of communication is, I think, the answer to that.
The key to everything.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're communicating about it because you're not going to agree with everything.
Yeah.
Where's the fun in that?
True. Yeah, Nick and I both grew up really non-religious, and so there's a lot of addiction in both of our families. So that's always something to be cognizant about and to be just like, okay, we have to be aware that it's in our genes to take things too far. But I think my parents never really drank a lot. My dad would have a beer or so, but even still, like my dad doesn't drink much. I think they both smoked pot when they were younger, but not when we were kids, not when they had us.
Yeah.
And my mom loves wine. My grandmother loves wine. I love wine. So that's now. But growing up, I really didn't see them drinking a lot. But I do really remember them just not agreeing with each other. Mm-hmm. So it was very obvious to us kids that they didn't, have the same feelings about stuff. And with Nick and I, we do always try to be a united front, even if we disagree behind closed doors. We don't want her to know.
You want to
so
look
if
like
I
a
say
team to
something,
your kids.
he backs me up.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I think we all kind of are.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have. I met and married Nick later. I was in my 30s, so I think at that point I knew what I did and didn't want, and I was just really. I knew from how much we had talked and how much time we had spent talking about family and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of.
But I just knew that he was someone that I could raise a family with. Like our morals and our outlooks on life just aligned.
Yeah.
And there are definitely times where I don't agree with him. I mean, there were lots of times, especially when she was a really, really little baby, where I just think he felt so helpless to do anything.
Yeah.
And I was such a wreck. And I think he didn't know how to help me, and he didn't know how to parent her because she would not go to him. She only went to me. So I think there were a lot of times where I was just kind of telling him what to do in a pretty, I don't know, just aggressive and frantic way. And we would disagree about how to handle things. But now that we're normalized and we're both sane, you know, and I'm not struggling so hard with my postpartum stuff.
Yeah.
We rarely disagree on how to parent.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the few times that, because like you talk about that, and I know you experienced a lot of the same struggles that I did with Wyatt, so I feel like I like know exactly what you're talking about when you say that. But the times where Chase like kind of countered what I wanted, because I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like in most families, at least with young kids, the mom has the say, because the mom's the one that
doing
knows
it.
the kids. They're still a part of us, and so and that's how Chase he's always like, you know, at the end of the day, you're the one like not calling the shots, but like and so anyways, the few times that I feel like he like kind of countered what I wanted or said like, I think you should do this, was really on the topic of breastfeeding Wyatt, because he saw me just I'm the most pain physically and mentally. It was pure. I was going to say turmoil too. And it was pure turmoil, and it was hard for him to watch. And so all the times that he said like, why don't we just do bottle, or why don't we just do that? It was never a disagreement, but he was pretty strong. Like he felt pretty strongly about that when I was like, literally like bleeding. Just like, no. But
you're like, I will win this war.
Literally.
You're like maimed.
No, actually, like physically in pain, bleeding, not doing well. And he's like, babe, you're in pain. I'm like, I'm fine. And I wasn't at all. But yeah, I mean,
hanging on by a thread. You were.
Yeah, literally.
There were lots of times where Nick too was like, why don't we just stop breastfeeding? And then the whole thing where formula just stopped being available happened.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was like, well, we can't.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty glad I stuck it out, because formula just was not available.
Right. What a weird thing.
Remember that? That was fucking crazy.
Yeah, we were, we really needed it because we were doing a lot of formula. Did you say what about me?
Yeah, what's your answer to the question?
We're a little bit on the fly, I think, but like I think just naturally my nature is to like sit and like research things and like read about stuff. And so I think I had a little bit of like, you know, it's the natural, like not even in a negative way, like burden of a mother to a certain extent, where I think, you know, dads just, they do in a lot of areas have the luxury of just kind of flying by the seat of their pants, figuring out as they go. Yeah. Not that ends up in bad or negative results, because it doesn't. And I would also say someone who like Bill, who's a very stable person in almost every sense, and also comes from a very stable family and upbringing, is like, okay, well, you know, there's always something that I think people can like, okay, like let's try it this way instead. Like I don't really, that doesn't mean I'm going to agree with everything he does or says, but there's also like a little bit of the benefit of that, of like, we had that working in our favor. Mm-hmm. And like, maybe I'm speaking too much for him, but I feel like there wasn't a lot that he carried from his upbringing that he is trying to avoid doing.
Yeah.
Whereas like I have a little bit of that.
Yeah.
and then also have the natural curiosity of like, you know, like books and research and things like that. And so we actually just had this like discussion the other day because like y'all said, this is a super difficult age. And Bill was like, what do we do like in these scenarios? And so I was just like, well, we tried this, and this. Like we're like laying in bed, like how to handle certain situations and like get certain behaviors under control. It's a work in progress, but I think the pressure to be on the same page with everything is unrealistic and unfair.
Totally.
However, knowing that you both kind of have the same goal in mind is what's more important.
I think so too. Because a lot of it is, you know, and we've all had this conversation. I mean, Jason and I literally had that conversation last week of like, and we've had it so often of like, what do we do?
I know.
How do we punish?
Because we got to be united on this.
What do we do? And neither of us know going into it. So situations like that, you literally have to be like, are we a timeout family? Are we a spanking family?
Yeah.
If this doesn't work, so like, you know, who knows? We don't know what it's like to have a 4-year-old, but there's going to be something like that. Once they're 4, once they're 5, that we have to figure out.
And we've talked about that a little bit, specifically Amie, of like, okay, I have to like figure out actually how I'm going to handle this now.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for a long time you can kind of just be like, oh yeah, this is going well.
Yeah.
But then like things just kind of fly off the handle.
Yeah. And you realize you're not in control of your house at all.
Yeah. I just need to have a plan now.
Yeah.
And actually come up with like a consistent way of how I'm going to approach this.
Which
consistency.
both parents have to be in on. That can't just be the mom says this, the dad says this.
I also think though, as the mother of the house, we have so much power over the room, the energy, and where things go.
Yeah.
So like on the times that I've been able to catch myself in a chaotic situation where everyone's in chaos, she's in chaos, he's in chaos, I'm starting to get in chaos. If I can equalize myself and realize that Nick feeds so much off my energy and she feeds so much off my energy, that if I can like just stay calm and show support to him, if it's his battle, right? Like say she's fighting him and it's his battle. He loses his cool really easily, way easier than I do. Like he just has a very little patience and his trigger is, you know, razor hair. So with me, I've always thought of myself as an impatient person. Motherhood has proven to me that I'm a lot more patient than I thought.
It'll do that.
But if I look at him and give him like some grace and some kindness, when my instinct would be to point the blame and be like, why are you acting like this?
Yeah.
You're the adult.
Yeah.
That my instinct would be to say that and be like, why are you stooping to her level?
Yeah.
Instead, if I take a moment and I'm like, okay, he feeds off me, and I say like, okay, be kind, show him some support and say like, yeah, babe, she's being real tough. Like you're handling it really well. He comes completely down. And then we can tackle her together.
Yeah.
But like it takes some moments you don't have that forethought. Some moments you're just like so fucking tired and so pissed. And so whatever. And they've hit you and they've done whatever. And they've embarrassed you in front of people, which happens to me a lot. Like I just get embarrassed. Because I'm like, wow, everyone knows I can't handle my life. This is what it looks like. But if I take the moment to be like, I control the room with my energy, being the woman in the house, then I can alter it too.
Yeah.
But you're not always, sometimes you're too tired. Sometimes you're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Go deal with each other.
Yeah.
Go kill each other.
It's a wonderful sentiment though.
Yeah.
It's
like,
a great
it really
sentiment.
is.
Yeah.
And when it does happen, it works.
Yeah.
And you're like, hell yeah.
You're like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
But I think we all hold the power in our homes. I mean, our men are strong and they're not like,
of course.
They're not like, you know, they wear pants. They're take care of shit.
Absolutely.
For sure.
But they're also really dependent on us when it comes to raising our children on what's the right move.
Yeah.
What should I do?
They don't have that maternal attachment.
It's not the natural thing for them.
Yeah.
Like there have been many times where I'm like, you're going too far. You're yelling too loud.
Yep.
You're too mad right now. And I have to be like, take a step fucking back because she's 2. But then there are times where I have to check myself.
Yeah, same.
And so it's like I can't be on some kind of pedestal because I lose my cool too.
Yeah. No, totally.
At times where I'm like, wow, that is like you really lost your cool, and that was not great.
Yeah. And I'm trying to at least
you did not handle that great.
Like in front of him, if I'm like, like kind of feeling like he's like going too hard, I just try to be like, give him.
Yeah, like you don't want to tell him.
Yeah, not like saying it out loud. I'm like, I want to be better about it. Just like give him like the laser eyes, like chill out.
Yeah. Well, one thing, Chase very rarely loses his cool. I'm the one of the two of us that does. But I know one thing, just to give a different perspective, one thing that helps me feel good in those moments is if I always feel guilty after I do it, and I'll like come down and be like, ugh, I wish I hadn't done this, whatever. And he's, instead of being like, yeah, you kind of like went a little hard or whatever, he'll say like, it's okay. You said sorry, or like I did it earlier today. Like, so validating your partner, if your partner, especially like if they feel bad about what they did, it's not the time to say
to rub salt in the wound.
Yeah, you could have done that differently. If they're pointing it out and they're like, man, I wish I'd said this differently, or I hope I didn't hurt his feet, whatever it is that they come down and say, don't agree with them. Say, well, at least you're recognizing it now, or I've done it too, or it'll be me tomorrow. Whatever it is,
because it will be.
Yeah.
Because
validate.
it will be.
Don't make don't ever make your partner feel bad. I mean, unless they're like,
right.
doing something you don't
there's
agree
always
with.
the exceptions. Right.
Yeah.
Wow, great answer.
Next question, honey.
Oh my. Let's talk about starting solids.
Ugh.
So we have a question that she really just wants any and all advice from our experience, not Dr. Google, because we don't know it all.
We're only saying what we know.
But she says she feels abnormally anxious about choking. Can I just say there's no such thing as feeling abnormally anxious about your child choking?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to start with that.
We all felt it for sure.
Go for it.
Sorry, I just jumped into
it. No, do it.
Now having started solids with 2 kids, just know that every solids journey is very different. I loathed it with E. It was so scary. He did not take to it well. He did not want any part. He was always gagging. I think I cried every time. It was miserable, no matter what food we tried. And we did it with baby-led weaning. And then when that scared the shit out of me too much, we tried just all mashed foods. And it was not fun. And I called it quits, and we tried again when he was 10 months old. And that finally got better. Wyatt loves him some food. It's been so much fun. Yeah. It's to a point now where if I'm eating something, I'll give him a little bite, and I would have never.
He'll be like,
yeah, literally,
yeah.
I never dreamt of doing that with E. So just before any answer is even covered, that can be my little tidbit with this answer. It's just every kid, whether you're asking and it's your first kid or your second, I would assume it's your first kid if you're asking that, I guess, but. Every kid's different.
And also you can try again in a couple months, like you said, and it might be different.
Totally. With E, I tried it, I think 7 months and hated it. He just didn't want to eat food? No. He really was not interested. I guess a lot of
kids, my friend's kid was like that, just wanted milk.
Yeah, he was not interested. And he was a great breastfeeder, so it wasn't even really necessary. Yeah. It wasn't hungry. And then whenever he did try, it was just gag city, which was terrifying. And it's normal to be anxious about it. And I think I cried every time we tried. And so I quit for 2 or 3 months and then tried again, and it was better. And then with Wyatt, literally the first time we sat down, homeboy ate an eighth of a banana. And I was okay.
When I picked Hart up from your house yesterday after Polly, he was just sitting in his little thing, just covered in sweet potato. And I was just you are such a little king.
He's so cute.
The best.
Oh my
his
gosh.
Little floating
He's
chair.
So cute.
And we love solids. That's my answer, and then y'all can chime in. It may be scary with one, or you may hate it with your first, but if you have a second, it may be different. I think it's just
always scary. The choking thing is always scary.
For sure.
I walked down this morning, and we're right after naps or something, and Nick was with her, and he was turned around, and she was grabbing a grape and just sticking it in her mouth. And I know to some people that's not a big deal, but I cut all of our grapes because I'm still not ready for her eat grapes. They're pretty fucking big. And cherry tomatoes, same thing. I cut them religiously. And she was sticking a humongous grape in her mouth, and I ran over and she's 2.5, but until they're 4, you really do have to watch stuff, because the more comfortable they feel and the more flippant they are, the more likely they are to choke.
Yep. Yeah.
But I started her on solids at 4 months because I had read a lot about baby-led weaning.
Yeah.
And I'm like you, Morg. I literally research and read every single thing to a point where it's like OCD and like keeps me up at night.
Okay,
and
now
like,
what do I do?
Not healthy. Like I've diagnosed myself with ALS 3 times. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing it. I'm doing the most. So I was reading about it, and I was reading how like big chunks of things are really the way a lot of kids start, and choking is something that they have to do to get used to eating, because they have to get used to choking and like properly choking.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and she was, she's a little Italian girl. She was like staring at our food from the very beginning, like watching us eat.
Yeah.
And being like,
yeah,
I'm ready.
Yeah. She was like, if you want to just hand some over. So we started really early, and she did choke. I mean, a number of times there was some really scary.
Yeah.
And I have a life vac.
Yeah. I was going to recommend that too.
And I always have something nearby where, just in case. But all of us freak out about it. It's so normal to freak out. And to this day, she doesn't eat. I mean, I still don't allow her popcorn. I don't allow her to eat certain foods that I know are notoriously
that's the thing
foods.
is I'm just like simply not going to risk.
No, certain things like I do actually, and this is crazy, but I was going to ask you guys what you think about it. They're not ready to go see a movie, but the new Trolls movie is out, and I think we could try.
I'm down. Chase, when I was in Vermont, tried to drive to the Hendersonville movie theater, but it was the day after the tornado, and so everything was closed.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wanted to do that with him the first time, which
I
like
think
I know
we could
I can't.
try. She is so obsessed with Trolls, as you guys know, that like she might sit through it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can try.
And in that, and then we can like get some snacks. We don't have to do popcorn, but like we can get some snacks and whatever,
Fruit snacks.
and show them that experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, like every mother is freaked out about choking. It is like one of the biggest, choking and drowning. Those are the two biggest fears when you're a mom of rambunctious little kids that want to explore. I mean, they're going to put things in their mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and knowing the difference between choking and gagging is big, because they are going to gag.
And it always looks
Normal
like they're
response.
choking.
Gagging is just especially when they're first starting solids, because Wyatt's gagging every day now.
Yeah.
They're not used to that, what's it called?
Sensation?
Yeah, like on the roof of their mouth. And so they just naturally, their body, which is good, that's
it's
what it's
good.
supposed to do. Their body is
functioning.
doing that because they're not used to it. So until they learn that function, they're going to gag a lot. So that's one thing, learning the difference between choking and gagging. And then taking the pressure off of yourself, because you are going to see a lot of things about baby-led weaning. And if you try baby-led weaning and that's not your jam, then like, fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be.
It's too scary for a lot of people.
Yeah, do purees, do mashed food.
A lot of my friends
fine.
did purees.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're all the same now. Like none of them are developmentally behind anyone else.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing is like, oh, would he like eat better and like eat vegetables if I had done baby-led weaning? But I'm like,
no, they all stopped caring about food
He's
anyway.
fed.
Like literally.
So I would say that too, is like, don't feel like you have to do it a certain way because you've seen about it. Like, do what works for your family.
100%. And I think, the education piece is something I've said with a lot of things that we've talked about, is it's so important to be educated, because the choking versus gagging is like, that's just like a huge thing to know just for your own, like, okay, breathe, like, he can handle this. And then also like how, just generally like how to cut things or cook things to where they're actually safer, and then what things you should just avoid. And like, it's no shame if you like let your kids like have stuff like occasionally or all the time. But me personally, I'm like, okay, so where do I actually have control?
Yeah, exactly.
This, I'm gonna,
cherry tomatoes and grapes.
Yeah, exactly. And as if Hart would ever eat a freaking grape or a cherry tomato. But sometimes they won't touch any of it at all, so you're just in luck.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's being educated on those things.
Solid starts. I just pulled it up.
Yeah, solid starts.
follow
Oh
them.
my gosh, solid starts.
I got a lot of recipes
app.
from them.
Yeah.
Their
app
Instagram is really good, but
insane.
their app is amazing.
It's so crazy. And like, I didn't even fully do baby-led weaning. I know Maddie went full send baby-led weaning with Jack,
did
which is
too.
amazing. But like, even trying the things, even if I didn't full send it, seeing how things should be cooked and cut based on ages.
Yep. Like
And
you
then
cut
what's
things the
best
long way.
avoided. Yeah. is like,
it's so like,
it makes you feel so much better.
Actually just pulled up Grapes just to see. I was curious what they said about it, but there's literally like an introduction, how to serve. And so it'll show Grapes you aren't even supposed to start until 9 months, and that's even quartered. So at 9 months, it shows quartered.
Really
and then
skinny,
18 months, if consistently showing ability to bite and tear, halves. And then like, so it just, it's such a good
down. I will recommend that to literally everyone.
Everybody gets solid starts.
Even if you're, and it doesn't have to be baby led weaning that you're doing for solid starts. It's just like, how should I feed my kid this? And you can just mash everything still, but it's like the education.
Totally.
And also education on if they do choke.
Yeah.
Please read about how to save your kid. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you put
and
their
dads
little
too. And dads too. Like it just do it. And then if you want to get a life vac as well, we have one as well in our hallway closet. But I just educate yourselves on those things that are like truly
before it's too late situation.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
It's a good one. So how long after baby does it take for you to actually want to have sex with your husband? And like, how long, does it last? Does it go away? Does it come and go?
How long does it take for you until you want to have sex with your husband?
Want.
I
don't think that you can even answer.
Is there even a frame of amount of time that is even created to be long enough?
God, there's some horny women out there that are like, it's been 6 weeks. Can I start? And I'm like, bitch, you crazy.
Whatever. Are you injecting yourself with testosterone?
Yeah, like you are crazy.
I was firmly believe, and I know you feel the same way. If you are breastfeeding, and let me take the you out of this. If I am breastfeeding, I don't want no peen.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, when I'm breastfeeding, I do not want dick.
And I don't even mean like I don't want to have sex. I don't want you touching my boobs.
No,
I
do
don't
not
want
touch
you,
my boobs.
I don't want first base, second base, third base. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Don't make eye contact with my nipples.
I don't want like, any of it, and it's not because of Chase. It is literally because my body does not. I don't want it. I just don't want it.
Yeah.
And so for us, I started feeling like our sex got quote unquote normal again. Probably a few months after I was done breastfeeding. And he would agree with that. He's had to remind me a few times.
I did not enjoy sex at all when I was breastfeeding.
No.
I found it to be like really, it's almost Chinese torture.
It's not.
Yeah, almost like yucky.
Almost like torture. Like
yucky.
Bad. Yeah.
Like almost like where you're like, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts. It'll be over soon.
No, literally.
It'll be over soon.
Literally.
Like, is this what they do to people in the Pentagon?
I am 8.5 months postpartum. We actually had sex twice last week, and it was the first 2 times in a row that it did not hurt at all. And that was, 8 months in. And that's having a healthy pelvic floor and gone to pelvic floor PT and like using coconut oil. Doing all the things.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any tearing. So I would say like a pretty good vagina to be working with. And it still hurt until 8.5 months.
Yeah.
And so it just...
I had a C-section and my vagina closed.
Yeah.
Because you're like something in it closed. Because I don't know. I followed Nancy Anderson and I did her C-section program. And she was like, she's talked about like, even if you have a C-section, your vagina like closes for business.
Develops a right angle.
Yeah. It like, what does it do?
It develops a right angle. Like, when did this right angle develop?
It's just like me.
Yeah.
Because when Nick tried for the first time, I was like closed.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It was not fun. But also the C-section scar, you're not healed for almost a whole year.
You feel so fragile.
You feel so fragile.
And nervous.
Yes.
It's a lot of nervousness.
And it's just that place to have that gaping of a wound is a very vulnerable. Even when she would breastfeed, she'd kick me there and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, it was just everything hurt there.
Yeah.
And then it's numb and you're just like, I'm numb. Like, what? Yeah. That's not sexy.
Yeah. And the nips are too sensitive.
Breastfeeding, your nipples are you're being suckled all day and then someone else is trying to suckle. You're like, get away.
Well, and your hormones, like literally, scientifically speaking, like our bodies they are not ready for sex.
I would say, to be very honest, 2.5 years postpartum, I am now enjoying sex. 2.5 years.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
We had a lot of sex on our trip without her when we got away, and we've been having a lot of sex since.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
just because we've just been like doing it. I don't know why.
Well,
maybe
you talked about the need to like rekindle and reconnect.
Yeah,
and,
we reconnected, and now it's like I find him really attractive again, and I'm just like into him.
Yeah.
So like we'll get in bed, and I'll instigate sex.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's like he can't believe it. Like literally, sometimes he's like, "Is this?" He's like,
am I awake?
He'll be like, I love our life so much.
Oh my gosh.
You understand how the difference in a man's mood when he's getting laid? It is wild.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. That's what's going on down there.
Bill's reorganizing something
Everything.
down there.
But yeah, that's hilarious.
2.5 years.
So
true.
so
No, I
funny.
did not want sex until recently.
No, I mean, hey.
Literally.
That's
took me
honestly, I'm not
2.5
shocked.
years.
I'm not
Yeah.
shocked by that answer. 8.5
feel like
months,
it's-
2.5 years. Yeah, you
Well,
get
and
the
it's
whole
hard
thing.
for us to say because, like,
You guys got pregnant again.
Yeah, right. And so,
Yeah,
I mean, if you were to ask
going
me
through
this,
it,
But us trying to get pregnant took the enjoyment
Exactly.
out of sex for me. Like
Exactly.
I started hating it until
Yeah.
we kind of stopped putting that
Yeah.
pressure. And I'm not gonna lie, I still think about it all the time.
Yeah.
When that time of the month
Yeah,
comes,
of
I
course.
wonder.
yeah.
But
There's
but I
not
have
the
taken
same.
that pressure off myself to be like, we have to do this. We have to do
Yeah.
this now. I have replaced that with, if it doesn't happen, it's not going to happen,
Yeah.
and that's okay. She has tons of friends. She'll be okay.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's taken 2.5 years for me to give a fuck
Yeah.
about sex.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember. Y'all have to ask me again in
Yeah.
several
You're
months.
gonna need to just get through another
Several
year
months.
of yeah.
Yeah, I nursed for a year, but I know we were doing it before then. But like, yeah. And honestly, I don't even know that. Yeah, I can try to like think back and remember, but like I'm currently like going through like the husband with a woman, okay, I can talk is the thing that I can do. The husband that's married to his wife who's in her third trimester.
Yes.
But he's like so tortured because he needs to have sex.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
It's like, there's so many comments and babe, I just like really need something. And I'm like, well, blowjob's not happening because there's something in the way
No.
and I can't breathe.
Yeah.
No.
That's why
sex
that's why jerking off is a magical thing.
Sex isn't happening because get away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, all jokes aside though, yes, get away from me, but also like, ow, and everything is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
it's like doing it with
and I feel it because
like you
it's
don't
then-
even feel
right. And we're gonna go. I feel for him. I don't, but I do.
yeah.
Because we're gonna have the baby, and then it's gonna be the postpartum and the
Yeah.
breastfeeding and the C-section recovery.
Yeah.
or
So a long time
either way you'd
before.
have the recovery. So I feel for it, but it's also like,
Yeah.
next
Well,
question.
also like they wouldn't trade with us.
No.
Right. And so it's like I hate it for you, and
You could never
so
do
sad.
this.
Sorry about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's currently I don't have a great answer because I don't remember, and I'm currently in just such a
Yeah.
such
I
a
think
state.
we can all maybe answer in like
Yeah.
2 more years. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope that there's a time in my
but
life where I'm
also
living it again.
you have to understand when you're with someone for a long time, like we all have been, and most people that are married and having kids, sex is a different thing.
Yeah,
like,
is.
it's just not ever going to be the same way that it was.
No.
You
And
will
it
go
doesn't
through
have to be.
phases where you have more sex and phases where you don't have sex at all.
Yes.
And both are okay.
Yeah.
We've gone through plenty of phases where I just honestly don't want to have sex for
Yeah.
long stretches of time.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to force myself.
Yeah.
Because no.
Yeah.
So, and that's okay.
This is not actually good for the relationship. If
No.
one person
And
is
then there's
dreading
times
it.
where we're both into it,
Right.
or where I'm into it because he's always into it. But like,
right.
there's times where it's good and I feel more like myself
yeah.
in that way. But it's all ebbs and flows, and it will be for the rest of our lives. And when we get to a certain age, we're probably not really going to want to have that much sex.
Yeah.
yeah.
And those are the real glory times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when we all just
baby.
Relax, when we all just relax and chill and nobody's getting a boner and
yeah.
Wow.
No, that's so true. Is like there's gonna be there you have our experience with when it comes back and you actually want it.
Yeah.
But then from there also realizing that it's gonna, come and go.
Yeah.
Based on certain circumstances in your life. And for husbands, not that y'all are really listening, but mine is. That's gotta be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's never because of the husband.
And sometimes
sometimes maybe.
and then sometimes sometimes you'll do it one time in April and be me ending up where I'm at, where I'm talking about myself.
Yeah.
And you got pregnant.
Yeah.
And so so sometimes you finally give in and you see what happens. Abstinence is key. Abstinence is key. They knew these religious people knew what they were talking about. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. I actually don't agree with purity culture, just for the record.
Oh yeah,
no,
not me either. That brainwashed. I still have some trauma I'm working through with that.
Yucky.
Yeah, anyways, Bill needs sex. You know what's so funny? Y'all, I'm sharing this. I can't believe I haven't told y'all this. Well, I can because it's about Chase and his penis. But the listeners all know about his vasectomy, right?
Yeah.
So, and his new goo. So get this. I think this was last week or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. He walks up to me and he goes, I think I need you to give me a blowjob. And I was like, you think...
You're like, that's a convenient thought.
You need me to give you one? And he was like, no, like, I think I have blue balls. And I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, I never had this feeling before my vasectomy. And he was like, but I think that this is blue balls and I've never experienced it before. And I was like, okay. I mean, I ended up doing it, but literally,
you're like, so I'm blowing him.
Literally, he approached me with, I think I need you to, and then said that he'd never had that before. And so now I'm like kind of curious. Is that a thing? I wonder, like, post-vasectomy.
I don't know. I mean, Bill definitely.
Fact check, Bill.
Bill, let's fact check, but Bill definitely gets blue balls. And has
but Chase said he never did.
I don't think blue balls are a real thing. I just thought that was something that guys made up to like pressure you into like doing stuff.
And he's like, oh, I can't get you pregnant now. Like, ouch, my balls hurt. We better do it.
I need it.
Chase, we're on to you.
It hurts.
No, but it hurts. He literally, like, I could tell. I know when he's not telling the truth or lying. He literally had never had blue balls before. And it's like, because you could almost see like,
the pain,
concern in his face. Like he was like, I'd never had this feeling before. Is this like, is this blue balls? And I'm like, I don't know, but maybe that's the thing after vasectomies.
I think had y'all had sex recently?
I mean, I want to say probably not, but I don't think that it would be like, it had built up that much.
I don't know. I'm reading that.
Very interesting.
I'm reading there's nothing that happens during a vasectomy that would cause you to like get it when you didn't before necessarily. So maybe it's just something else, but it could just be
but you never know.
Could just be some achy pains.
Achy breaky balls.
Achy breaky balls. Come on, Chase. Where's your ukulele? Let's get
Oh, right, gosh. Enough bashing.
Okay. Next question.
Okay. That is actually very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
And I validate
I don't think he was lying.
Yeah, I validate his experience.
Yeah. No, he's not like the lying type.
I don't think he would go that far because he would just be like, we all know.
No.
Will you give me a blow?
Yeah, you got 10 minutes for your boy.
He would have
10 minutes for your boy?
Yeah.
He would have actually.
We all know how this goes with him. Okay, let's see. Last question.
You got 10 minutes for your boy will absolutely never get old. Never, ever, ever get old.
We have, we've paraphrased and kind
10 minutes for your boy is the greatest thing that I've ever fucking heard.
It's pretty
I love it so much.
Oh, it's so good.
Nick loves it so much. Like it makes
Chase,
Nick so happy.
When Chase, he's just like kind of quiet.
Yeah, like, especially when you know Chase.
You got 10 minutes for your boy.
Yeah, you got 10 minutes for your boy.
I'm just like,
oh my God,
mad
that's
respect, brother.
Yeah, so good. Not afraid to ask for what he wants.
This is good for last cue. what's one thing you're proud of from 2023 and one thing you want to improve on in 2024? This says in parenting, but I'm going to say we can take creative liberty on that.
Okay.
I don't want to go first with this one because I don't know.
One thing we're proud of.
One thing you're proud of and one thing you want to improve on.
One thing mine isn't motherhood related though. I guess that's
It's fine. I would say like, who cares?
My business. I think actually I can like make this mother related. I like to toot my own horn for like 1 second. I'm like kind of a boss bitch while being a mom. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I am proud of myself for creating what I've created while being a mom. Because that just feels very empowering.
Yeah.
And this year was like massive for Fittest Core.
Yep.
And Chase got to quit his job and
you're finally giving
them what they want.
Oh my
Season
gosh.
2 finale. What is Chase's job?
Now. Chase is co-owner of Fittest Core and does like all of the behind the scenes things. He like the things that he's done with Fittest Core has
Spill the beans.
been like crazy. So that's been cool to be able to work together on the business and see everything that he's implemented and allowed for both of us to stay at home with the boys has been like, that's a proud like parenthood moment. So I'm proud of both Chase and me for that. And then something I'd like to work on, probably like just how I treat Chase.
Aw.
Because sometimes I'm mean.
It was like so silent after you said that. Not because it was, we were just like, we're taking it in.
Reflecting,
I just am not, granted, I'm like hormonal. I'm still breastfeeding. And I'm going to ride that excuse out until
as you
I'm
should.
done with it. Because my hormones are
excuse.
real fucked up right now. And they will be until you're done, right? Like,
yes. And it takes about a month.
Yeah. So, but I would like to speak kinder to him in 2024.
That's nice.
I support you.
I'm sure Chase appreciates that sentiment.
I'm not like, wow, I'm making this sound like
I guess
I'm awful.
Nick would love that too.
I'm not like running around like, fuck you, Chase. Like, but there are times where I could speak
You're
more
just
kindly
snippy
to him.
him.
I'm very snippy.
2024 is just all coming up Chase between a built-in blue ball treatment and being kind.
Yeah, I'm just going to be, I'll be kind. Not kind enough that I'm just giving out BJs, but
I don't know. We'll see.
Got to still ask for him.
Yeah.
Honey.
I am proud as well of kind of getting my career back on track.
Yeah, you really did.
And really hustling. Like really fucking hustling.
Yeah.
And also I'm proud of facing my fears with sending her to school.
Yeah.
Because that was a very deep fear.
Yeah.
And it still is. I still think about it every time I drop her off. As I'm sure most parents do. But I realized through facing my fears with that it's just, she's so happy. I mean, she just loves it. She loves going to school. She loves her friends. She talks nonstop about her teacher. And she's just thriving. She's so confident and smart. And I think that's like, that makes me feel good.
Such a win. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me feel like Nick and I are doing something really great because she's really happy and really confident. She walks into every room and just is like, I'm Farrah.
She really does.
She really does. And there's no fear. And that's, that's personality too. But she's doing great.
That though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I finally feel like a person and I'm making money and doing music and fucking hustling my ass off.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like knocking on doors that I would have been scared to knock on.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, I'm worthy of this.
You're saying, hey, I'm Amie.
Check this the fuck out.
Take a page out of Farrah's
And people are
book.
saying, okay. And I think what I would like to work on in 2024 is my self-doubt because it's still so fucking there. I question everything I do. Like we were saying, I post things and archive them immediately because I think, oh, someone's going to get upset or someone's going to think I'm stupid or someone's going to think I'm full of myself, or, I just self-doubt.
Yeah.
Like I constantly analyze relationships and analyze interactions with people and think like, oh, I don't think that person liked me. Mm-hmm. Or I don't think that person thinks I'm worthy of their time.
Yeah.
And like, that's just like fucking pointless.
Yeah.
Because the only difference between successful people and not successful people is belief in yourself. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. So if you just believe, I just want to believe wholeheartedly in myself the way I appear to believe in myself.
Yeah.
I really want to believe that in 2024.
I love that.
And not let my self-doubt and my insecurities hold me back.
I support you in that.
And I think that'll help me as a mother too.
Oh yeah, girl.
Yeah.
What about you, Morgie?
Yeah.
Just to stay alive in 2024 with a new baby.
I mean, yeah. I'm really excited, but proud. I wrote down while you were talking. Hold on.
Morg's farting.
All right.
That was a long one.
It was hard.
Oh my God.
I've been holding
That
on
was
to it. I've been
long.
holding
And
it
the
in.
She
face,
literally goes, wait.
the face that came with that was so
I was getting a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
kinda
you needed
trying
that
to-
one.
There's
You needed
no
to get
room,
that one out.
No room in the end.
No.
Let it out.
Yeah, there's no room for that fart.
So that's proud of and improve upon is farts and farts.
Fart.
Yeah.
Let him
Proud of
loose.
that fart right there, baby.
For the season finale, we needed a fart.
I wish that you had gone like this with the microphone.
I know.
Yeah, we needed a
I
Morg
should've.
fart for the
Maybe one
season
day I
finale.
will, but at least y'all heard it. I'm really proud of myself for finding like I don't know, like getting creative and like crafty and like how to crochet. I don't know how else to word it.
Your blanket is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I did
it's
make
beautiful.
a blanket, and I'm making more.
It's so
and I'm also
nice.
making like little duck snugglers for the boys, little loveys.
Ooh, maybe we could do a Rock Me Mama blanket for like a really special
like a
winner
giveaway.
of some sort of
make that
prize.
cute. That could be really cute.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of that though.
But
like
I kind of want one.
Yeah, I want one too.
Yeah, no,
I'll
don't
pay
worry.
you though.
Don't worry, I'll make you one. I'm really proud of that because it's always, that kind of, like aesthetically pleasing things or like crafty things and DIY. Like it's all things that I like love. Like,
Yeah.
I love like little beautiful like things. And kind of making that space for myself to focus on that. I'm extremely introverted. And so being able to kind of like, I'm not watching TV. I'm not listening to a podcast. I'm not listening to music. I'm just literally sitting in silence, crocheting.
You don't listen to a podcast or a book or anything?
Sitting in silence.
Wow.
Not talking to anybody. And I'm crocheting. And it is so good for me. And I'm just like, and it's also realizing, I was telling Sydney about this because she was going through a lot of like trying to finish college and stuff. But like just having no control over my thoughts either. Just letting each one come and go. Mm-hmm. And that's been so good for my mental health. And that's something that I want to continue for sure. And I'm proud of that. And it is just related to like crocheting is what is getting me there, or crafting is what is getting me there. And then improving on in 2024, I think with physical health for myself and my family.
Love.
Yeah.
Diet.
You have the right friends.
I was going to say, I know a girl.
So
Macy can get you tight and right.
I know. Y'all will.
But more than anything, just feeling good and healthy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I want to be able to, like, we've talked about it before, but like, I didn't have the food aspect or the like exercise aspect from either of my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just something that I do not have in me.
You've had to learn.
I have to do that for myself, which is hard at 28. So
for sure.
That's my goal. And that both of those I do count as parenting and motherhood related because they're both, kind of
making you a better person and a happier person.
Yeah.
A happier person, mom is a happier mom.
Yeah.
I mean, a better mom.
Yeah. For sure. I love it.
I love that too. And I mean, I think again, like our friendships with each other have like exponentially made our lives better and easier. So
I've been MIA for the last month, but
but you're still, but we know that about you, and we know when to give you your space, and we know when to be like, hey,
It's because I've just been crocheting in silence. Cool. I'm a little busy.
Yeah.
But I always feel bad when moms come to us and they're like, I haven't found my mom friends. And it's like, it's so understandable. We hit the jackpot with this neighborhood.
Yeah.
But like, it's so understandable to not really know how to find mom friends because it is intimidating. And it's also like the world of social media, like we were saying, is so judgmental. And so like, I don't know. It's just so hard to even think about approaching someone to be your friend.
I know.
Yeah.
Or like, want to hang out?
Yeah.
Like, how do you even go about that?
If Amie is saying that that's difficult, it is. Because Amie just, there's a new person at her house.
I'm a friend person.
Yeah.
But I've been a friend person my whole life. Like, I grew up where everyone was always at my house when we were kids. Yeah. There was always friends. We always had people over. I just, to a fault, have people at my house.
Yeah.
Even when I'm like, God, I wish I was alone. There's people at my house. And I invited them. It's my toxic trait.
It is.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I get that.
But anyway, thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
This podcast means so much to us.
It really does.
We can't wait to start season 3. Please, during this break, if you could do us a favor, share this podcast with someone that you love.
Yeah.
And just talk us up. Because the more listeners we have, the more that we can do.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Share, rate, comment.
Yeah.
Keep us in the loop with y'all. There are so many of y'all that we talk to. Like,
I talk to you guys all the time.
This is not like a stopping. Like,
we're
literally
taking
just
a little break
on episodes, but we'll still be on our Instagram. We'll be doing lives.
Yeah.
And
then we'll be setting up season 3.
Yeah. So it won't be that long of a break.
Morg will have little Rudy to talk about next time.
Cheers to farts.
And you won't. Cheers to farts. And you won't be pregnant next time we do this.
Yeah, we can all drink.
Hallelujah. We're going to drink.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not going to be, hopefully I'll be like sleeping more and maybe not, I don't know. I'll be in more of a
it's just
place
the world.
To drink.
It's a world of possibilities.
You guys know I'll be drinking.
Baby. Yeah.
Yeah. Period.
Period. End of story.
And that's on Amie drinking.
Yeah.
And that's on Amie drinking.
All right.
Cheers.
We love y'all. Cheers to season 2.
Bye.
Bye.
Rock, rock, rock me, mama.